because then they don't have sanctions on them and they can use more modern equipment because
Yeah,
they had to like get rid of a certain amount of their equipment. They got
yeah.
rid of all the old equipment and just upgraded just new equipment, but a smaller amount of it.
Yeah, so there's steps to this, right? Like they know like what the steps are going to be, and they're testing them in front of like a stage of like world leaders, right? Because they've had governments that have tried to m- make nuclear bombs in the past, and they know kind of like along the lines of, okay, if they don't stop here, then they're going to keep going. If they don't stop here, and they have like checks and balances, like so they're getting fairly close to being able to do what they want to do, but everyone knows like how long it takes to get to the final stages. So they need a platform to deliver it on, and then they need a guidance system, and then they need an actual working explosive. So they're watching them, and they know what steps there are along each one of those guidelines.
Oh,
And once
they
they start getting too close on one of them, they'll do something to like knock them down, and then they'll run a test to see, okay, are they going to do what we expect them to do? And they present the evidence to the world stage of like, look, Iran's trying to make a nuclear bomb. We've told you this before. Watch what they do with all this money. And then they go take the money and then upgrade their equipment to make a better nuclear bomb, and then they send in the investigators, and then they report all their findings on all their equipment, new equipment they bought, and then they take that back in front of the world stage and they go, see, I fucking told you. And then eventually, right when they start getting to the last stages of getting a working nuclear weapon, they get invaded and attacked and destroyed, because no one wants another country to have a nuclear weapon, especially not
oh
Iran.
Trump brought it up at the UN. He wanted Europe to put sanctions on Iran again because they've been doing ballistic missile testing, and some of the ballistic missiles they launched were nuclear capable, is what they were saying. So like
Hmm.
if they had a nuclear bomb, they could fucking put it they
Well,
could
yeah.
put it on that ballistic
Well,
missile.
see, that's what the problem is, because they're rating they're rating who is the biggest threat to from Iran, and it's Israel. They've already said like multiple times, like if they get a nuclear weapon, they're going to use it against Israel. They've said it like their supreme leader. So everyone knows what happens if Iran gets a nuclear weapon. They say what's going to happen. They actively try to upgrade their systems. So eventually, they're going to have to agree to attack them or sit back and watch while somebody else attacks them. But the United States isn't very happy about allies not helping them. So they've changed their face of warfare. Like in the future, warfare is going to go to fucking like unmanned fucking drones and just fighting in the sky. Like they're just going to
It's
bomb
pretty
targets.
close to that now with like the amount of drone strikes Obama used. Like there's more strikes going on than anything else.
Yeah, it turned into a new phase of war. Like basically, We're not going to lose any more of our people, but this war's got to continue. And the thing is they can make more bombs and more bullets than people can pump out babies. Like, and especially when those babies are retarded and they all get in a giant group to go attack somebody. So you see 20 or 30 people trekking through the mountains or wherever you're fighting at, and you just blow them up from the sky with one missile, like, and you kill 20 or 30 of them. Like we're not competing on their level. Like they're used to almost like how you line up and you, like they did in the Civil War times or like the Revolutionary War, and just shoot at each other from sides. Like we're not doing that kind of shit anymore. Now we're just blowing them up with a missile from miles away and taking out like more of them than they are us. So they haven't adapted, and I don't even think they can adapt. Like they don't have the technology to. So they're just going to keep taking massive losses. They're saying Iran is like got more intelligent equipment, but Iran and North Korea kind of got this pact going on because North Korea is trying to make nuclear weapons as well, and they've all been warned by intelligence sources that if North Korea gets nuclear weapons, they're going to shoot it at South Korea. That's like the biggest threat to Asia is North Korea. And China uses them like a fucking bulldog. So the general consensus is when we do attack Iran, because we will, who's gonna join in to fight against us attacking Iran, and who's going to join us fighting against the people defending Iran? And then the same thing's going to happen with North Korea eventually. Like they're not going to allow North Korea to have weapons, so like nuclear weapons. So then eventually at some point we're going to attack North Korea again, or like who's going to help North Korea? You know what I mean? So it's like a constant war that's going on, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then what other country next decides, hey, I want to build nuclear weapons? And then who's going to stop that country? Because people just generally are going to they're going to get smarter and smarter. It's like a giant juggle fucking who do we fight next? All it takes is 40 nuclear weapons to wipe everybody out. So there's fucking thousands of them on the planet. Makes a lot of sense. They're like a ticking time bomb. Are you done for the day?
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna log off myself. Watch some TV or something. I'm not really too worried about